Alright guys, in this video I am going to build a trading bot using artificial intelligence, especially what is called a reinforcement learning algorithm. So I'm going to prepare a step-by-step tutorial for you guys. I'm not going, too deep into all those technical stuff. The goal of this video is to really just to give you a gist of, how you can get started with Python and automatic stock trading, and how to build reinforcement learning and machine learning algorithms, and so on and so forth. In this video, we're going to use Visual Studio Code, and in fact, if you already have your code editor and of your preference, please feel free. I'm going to use Visual Studio Code because that's what I'm used to it. And then also, I'm going to assume that you guys already have some experience with Python. So I'm not going to explain how to install Python, how to configure your development environment, and things like that. But I do not assume that you have an extensive knowledge of Python. So as far as all those basic concepts like how to print a string on the screen, or how to create a simple for loop or if and else statements, and things like that, you should be able to follow this video without much problem. We'll also assume that you have a little bit of knowledge with machine learning. Again, I'm not going to require you to have a thorough understanding of what machine learning is and things like that. I don't want you. I don't assume you to be machine learning experts, but knowing some basic background is going to be necessary to follow this video. So. But don't worry, I'll walk you through, all the details and how things work and so on and so forth. So, all right, so let's get started. So, just to outline what we're going to cover, let me just create a README file here, and Visual Studio has this nice extension to preview Markdown language. So if you don't know what Markdown is, it's sort of like a script that allows you to write a text that looks better than a simple plain text. So here's the title, auto stock trade bot using RL maybe. Okay, and then as you can see on the right, it displays kind of a beautified, right, like a formatted text on the right. So here, what we're aiming to do is, first of all, we need a data, right? To do anything, with machine learning, you're gonna need data. So getting data from Yahoo Finance, and then we're gonna basically retrieve all the data from Yahoo Finance, and then we're going to analyze their stock movement, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be the first task we'll be doing, and then of course we're going to need to do some pre-processing before to put the data into the machine learning algorithm. So that's going to be our next step. So that includes cleansing of data, removing outliers. And then, more importantly, we're going to generate some features. So we're not just simply going to use the price movement. A lot of machine learning tutorials out there naively tries to, predict the future price of a stock. But in real trading, that's not how it works. Stock traders, they use these things called the indicators to understand the movement and the trend of the stock market, and then they use those indicators to make decisions whether or not they want to buy a stock, or whether or not if it is a time to sell a stock, or should I hold it, and things like that. So all of these trading positions can be determined using those indicators, and then our goal is simply to develop a machine learning algorithm that can analyze and recognize those patterns of the indicators and then make the trading decisions. So compared to a naive stock price prediction, this is going to be much more practical, I would say. So in order to do that, we're going to generate features. What else? And then, once we have data, I'm going to show you a simple machine learning algorithm. So in machine learning, there are a lot of different things. One of the things is what is called reinforcement learning. And reinforcement learning is basically like training a dog. If your dog does something good, follow you, behave nicely, then you give the dog a treat, right? On the other hand, if your dog doesn't behave nice, then you give a punishment. So the same thing. So a machine learning agent is like a dog, and then when the agent makes good decision, then you give a reward, and then when the agent makes not so good decision, then you give a punishment, and that's basically how you train a reinforcement learning algorithm. Especially there's a thing called an actor-critic algorithm. So actor-critic algorithm, as the name indicates, we have two agents, in fact. One is the thing called an actor, and then the other thing is called a critic. Critic, yes. And what actor does, actor is basically like a dog, and then this guy is going to make trading decisions based on the features that acquired from the Yahoo Finance data. So it's going to try to buy stocks based on the trend that it recognizes, and then the critic algorithm, critic agent, is basically another machine learning agent that basically evaluates the quality of the action of the actor. So actor just made a decision to buy a stock. Was this a good decision? Actor just made a decision to sell the stock. Was this a good decision? So critic's role is to basically evaluate what's happening. And then interestingly, from a training data, we basically train both actor and critic together, so that initially both actor and critic are not so smart, but then as we train them over many iterations, they're going to get better and better and better, so that eventually both actor and critic should be able to do their job. So this is kind of an exciting idea, but yet it's pretty simple to implement. So we're going to take a look at that in this tutorial. Sorry, another thing I forgot actually is after pre-processing, I'm going to show you some of the basic concepts of what is called back trading. So back trading, back testing, is a concept of testing your trading scenarios. Okay, so we're gonna talk about some simple trading strategies. And then, I'm going to show you how you can test those trading strategies using this thing called a backtrader Python library. What it does is basically, once you define a trading strategy, this guy is going to go back to the date, sometime in the past, and then it will simulate the situation of you buying and selling stocks based on the trading strategy that you just defined. So, backtesting is kind of a necessary step before you actually put your money in, right? You don't want to put your money in the algorithm that's not been tested. So backtesting is kind of a necessary step. So our goal here is to, first of all, generate data, and then we're going to talk about some simple non-machine learning version of training strategies, and then we're going to talk about backtesting, and then eventually we're going to develop a reinforcement learning agent, which is going to be way much more complicated trading strategies learned from data, and then I'm going to show you how it performs compared to simple trading strategies. So that's kind of an overview of this course. So let's get started. So there's a lot of exciting things to happen, so please stay tuned, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video.